June 2nd, 1582, 2 in the morning. Kyoto. A column of soldiers moves through the dark streets toward a temple called Honnoji. Their commander has just told them their destination. Most of them don't understand yet. They will in a moment. Inside the temple, Oda Nobunaga, the most powerful warlord in Japan, the man who was about to unify the country after a century of civil war, is asleep. He has almost no guards. He trusted this city. The man outside the gate is Akechi Mitsuhide. He has served Nobunaga for over 15 years. He is one of Nobunaga's most trusted generals. He gives the order to attack. What happened inside that temple in the next few hours changed Japanese history permanently, and the man who ordered it survived for exactly 13 days. Stay with me, because nobody has ever fully explained why. To understand Mitsuhide, you need to understand Nobunaga. Oda Nobunaga was, by any measure, the most radical figure in Japanese history up to that point. He burned Buddhist monasteries that raised armies. He executed nobles who defied him. He welcomed Jesuit missionaries and European firearms in a country that had used swords for centuries. He was brilliant. He was effective. And he was, by most accounts, terrifying to work for. He humiliated his generals in public. He punished failure with death. He renamed Mitsuhide's home province and gave it to a rival general as a reward, while Mitsuhide was still running it. Mitsuhide had served him faithfully through all of it, for 15 years. Then he stopped. The night before the attack, Mitsuhide held a small ceremony with his senior officers. He said something that has been quoted in Japanese history ever since. The exact words are disputed, but the meaning is not. The enemy is at Honnoji. His own men looked at each other. Honnoji was in Kyoto. That was where Nobunaga was. By the time they reached the temple gates, the situation was clear. They were 13,000 soldiers. Nobunaga had perhaps 30 attendants inside, but the attack lasted a few hours. Nobunaga, according to most accounts, fought back with a bow, then a spear, until he was wounded. Then he retreated to the inner rooms, and the temple caught fire. His body was never found. Mitsuhide now controlled Kyoto. In theory, he was the most powerful man in Japan. He had exactly 13 days to enjoy it. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Nobunaga's other great general, who was at the time fighting a campaign in western Japan, received news of Nobunaga's death and made a decision. He concluded a peace with his current enemy within days, turned his entire army around, and marched back toward Kyoto at a speed that seemed impossible. The two armies met at the Battle of Yamazaki on June 13th. Mitsuhide's force was smaller. It was also fighting men who had every reason to want revenge. The battle lasted a few hours. Mitsuhide fled. He was killed 3 days later, allegedly by peasants with bamboo spears while trying to escape through the countryside. He was 60 years old. And here is where Japanese historians have been arguing for 400 years. Why did Mitsuhide do it? The simple answer: he was ambitious. Doesn't hold up. If ambition was the reason, he planned it badly. He had no allies confirmed in advance, no way to hold power against the other generals. There is the humiliation theory. Nobunaga had publicly shamed him multiple times. There is a famous account of Nobunaga striking him in front of other generals, though historians debate whether this happened. There is the strategic theory. Some scholars believe Mitsuhide was acting on behalf of noble families threatened by Nobunaga's consolidation of power. Perhaps even coordinating with the imperial court. There is the opportunism theory. Nobunaga happened to be alone in Kyoto with almost no protection. Mitsuhide saw an opening and took it. No single explanation has ever been proven. The incident is called Honnoji no Hen, the Honnoji incident, and the why remains officially unsolved. Here is the paradox of Mitsuhide's 13 days. He killed the man who was unifying Japan. What happened immediately after? Japan was unified anyway, by Hideyoshi, then by Tokugawa. The process Nobunaga started continued without him, but the method mattered. Because Mitsuhide succeeded, every subsequent Japanese ruler understood something. No matter how strong you are not safe from the people closest to you. This shaped how power was structured in Japan for the next 3 centuries. Tokugawa, watching all of this, built a system specifically designed to prevent this from happening again. Hostage-taking, mandatory residence in Edo, rigid hierarchy. He had learned from Honnoji. 400 years later, Akechi Mitsuhide is one of the most popular figures in Japanese historical fiction. He has been portrayed as a tragic figure, a calculating villain, a frustrated idealist, a pawn of greater forces, and a man who simply chose the wrong moment for the right reasons. The Japanese term for someone who changes sides at the critical moment. Mitsuhide entered the language as a verb, and the question, why Honnoji, is still sold in history books, debated in universities, and dramatized in NHK television series in Japan every few years. He is remembered more than most of the generals who won. Akechi Mitsuhide had 15 years to act. He chose a single night. He destroyed the most powerful man in Japan, and survived for 13 days. Was it revenge? Was it ambition? Was it a political conspiracy he was only part of? The fire at Honnoji burned the body, burned the evidence, and burned whatever explanation Mitsuhide might have left. He didn't write down why. This is the Dragon Throne. We cover the generals who betrayed, the warlords who burned, and the questions history refuses to answer. Subscribe. New episode every week.